Hello, I'm Dorothy Potter Snyder. I'm a writer and translator from Spanish. Mexico has had a gravitational pull on me since I first went to Yucatan in 1988 after Hurricane Gilbert to see what I could do to help. The gravity of the damage there, the dramatic coastline, and the resilience of the people all made a deep impression on me. I returned many, many times to see my friends there, and my love affair with Mexico has never ended. Over the years, it's been a recurring theme and a deepening passion. The enormity of the country, the variety of its languages and cultures, and the nation's complicated history, and of course its literature, have all captured and held me. Because I myself write mostly fiction, I've focused much of my study and translation work in that area. However, when I was invited to translate an essay by Mónica Lavín for Talking Books with Mario Vargas Llosa, published last year by the University of Nebraska Press, I began to look around for other criticism and essays and found few of these available in English translation and even fewer written by women. By not publishing women's nonfiction in translation, we are missing out on a huge part of the cultural dialogue with our Hispanic colleagues. After all, if Mexicans are reading Joan Didion and Susan Sontag, shouldn't North Americans be reading Margot Glantz and Angelina Muñiz-Huberman? That's why when Larissa asked me to guest curate this series for Jill, I decided to focus on the essay form. I'm so pleased that fellow translators Robin Myers, Samantha Schnee, and Nora Carr have all agreed to contribute some of their work. I interpret essay here broadly to allow room for poetry and myth to enter into the space. And I hope you'll come back to hear their readings as Jill releases them on this channel. Mexican writer Angelina Muñiz-Huberman, born in Hier, France in 1936, is the author of 50 books of poetry, fiction, essay, and works in translation. She is a professor in the Faculty of Philosophy and Letters at UNAM in Mexico City, and she is credited for having introduced the neo-historical novel and Sephardic mysticism into Mexican literature. In addition to many other honors she's received, she was also the first recipient of the International Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz Prize for the Novel in 1993. Her essays are highly literary and poetic. Her style is direct and ironic. She focuses her lens on history, often the experience of refugees from the Spanish Civil War, and she is a cultural critic. Today, I'm going to read my translation of an essay from her book, Arrhythmias, published by Bonilla Artigas Editores in 2015. Muñiz-Huberman takes a clear position on the nature of contemporary popular culture. It's one I really can't disagree with. She pulls no punches in her critique of the superficiality of many modern trends and its result, the terrible violence committed against the bodies of women, children, and the elderly. In this essay, entitled Las entrañas y la piel, the guts and the skin, Muñiz-Huberman challenges the rest of us to take a position against those cultural trends that promote ignorance and violence against the most vulnerable. I will read a short section in Spanish and then read that section and the rest of the essay in English.
Las entrañas y la piel. Las entrañas y la piel, lo ingenuo y lo puritano, escribir desde las entrañas, de lo que no se ve, de lo que no se sabe, del misterio absoluto, no de la piel, de lo superficial, de lo visible, borrar los temas de moda, nunca lo esperado, lo fácil, lo vendible, lo prostituido. Sí, lo individual, lo único, lo terriblemente escaso. Lo que tanto se teme, lo otro, lo no igual. The guts and the skin. The guts and the skin, the innocent and the prudish, writing from the gut about the unseen, the unknown, the absolute mystery, not about the skin, the superficial, the visible. Do away with hot topics, never what's expected, the facile, what sells, the prostituted. Yes to the individual, the unique, the shockingly rare, that terrifying thing, the other, not what's the same. We are in the age of equality. Communism has finally triumphed in its most degrading guise, not as expected, not social equality, but rather the equality of stupidity, the equality of repetition, poverty of imagination, the hackneyed, the obliterated thought, the mockery of wisdom. Everyone shouting, pushing, tearing things apart, dressing in the same uniform style, even if it's a shabby, tattered, colorless, shapeless, deformed, foul-smelling suit, the waist at ass level and the ass at waist level. Long live indifference. Long live dumbed-down language. Let's ignore all the words, the beautiful, round, resonant words. Let's stick with the flattest ones, the disposable ones, the know-nothing ones. Let's drag knowledge along the ground. The more science advances, the less man knows. The greater the technology, the greater the ignorance, the greater the fanaticism, the greater the loss of fear. Fear, that driver of questions, has been lost. No one speaks of what should be spoken of, like death, for example, like love, for example. Death? Love? What is love? Let's forget it all the accumulated philosophy, the literature we've read, the history learned. Let's just dispense with them. Take down the banner of knowledge. Let's trample on poetry. Who needs that ballast? Forgetting. That's what it's all about. Memory is a hindrance. It should be crushed like a cockroach, like a centipede, like a long straggling line of ants. The kingdom of the skin, of what's on the surface, of the obvious. Forget the guts. What you don't see doesn't exist. Therefore, does God not exist? No, not right now. Too complicated. Where did beauty end up? Terrible fear of beauty, of unique beauty, triumph of the unbalanced, the discordant, the awful, the inharmonious in its kingdom, the harmonious banished, exile of balance, of the golden rule, ripped clothing, rudimentary word, idiot chorus, noisy devices, kingdom of deafness, loss of limits. I rob, assault, rape, crush, batter, eat my own skin and muscle. Above all, rape, the kingdom of rape. I respect nothing to achieve my wretched pleasure. I pursue, I kill, I dismember, I eat the flesh of children, I drink the blood of women, I vomit the elderly, I behead, behead, behead. And I remain cool as a cucumber. In fact, I am a hero, an authentic example, an exemplary too. I do what everyone does, and everyone does what I do. This is equality. I am not even catharsis. I am a skin-deep rerun. And the guts? No guts at all. I have no guts. I don't get that intimate. I am a repetitious automaton. I am what everyone else is. Have my own personality? Not a chance. All alike, everybody all alike, full of shite. The sin of difference. And above all, the skin. the all-encompassing and concealing skin. Might there be something beneath it? Don't even ask me that question. The skin is the skin, and that's all. Why should I dig deep? Paul Valéry said that the deepest thing in man is the skin. And yet, I will keep writing from my gut about guts.